I'm Nancy Green with Film Critique, and my question is for all of you. I wanted to know if you could speak briefly about what it is that interested you in doing this documentary, specifically about Steph Curry, especially since he's legendary, but he is rather young. And so I'm kind of curious as to why you chose to do this about him and what draws you to him and to this documentary.
I can take that one first. Yeah, so Steph is my partner over at Unanimous, as well as Tiffany, right? And I think when we always sit down and we talk about stories, and we think about our slate of content, and we think about how we can inspire. And I think that's one of the main goals of Unanimous, is right, inspiring through media. So for this particular story, we were in a development meeting, and we were going over the slate, and we started talking about the Elite Eight run. And, it was really Stephen that kind of like leaned back and thought about how long it's been since he's been around these players. And really the story we can kind of mine from that. Then he told us he was trying to graduate that next year. And, then it has momentum, right? When a story starts to create layers on top of layers, you start to see the momentum, and it kind of takes its own life. Then that next call was to Ryan, because as producers, we try not to have fingerprints on the creative, right? And so our I feel like one of our jobs are just to kind of like plant the seed and then pass it to amazing creative. So our next call was to Ryan, and so I'll sort of let him sort of finish the journey of the why behind the film, but that's from the Unanimous team. Unless Tiffany, unless I missed anything, that was sort of our perspective.
Oh, that was perfect.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ryan.
No, go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say, then we passed it to Ryan, and then Ryan, I mean, you can speak to how you responded to it.
Yeah, I got the call from Erick. I think I was here actually when you called. I was at home, and we hadn't left for Atlanta yet for Panther 2, and we had just recruited Pete to come run nonfiction for us at Proximity. And Pete had been a great friend to me and Zinzi and Sev, who founded Proximity together in 2018, and we had been discussing working with each other. He'd been pitching us on like the great business opportunity that exists in nonfiction, and the cultural opportunity for it. He had been living and breathing it, and like he mentioned, making that trilogy of films here in Oakland. And it ended up working out for us in 2020 to bring him on. And it was shortly after that that Erick called with this idea, and I was just thinking like wow, what a great opportunity. I was honored to get the call, because Steph means so much to us. I'm a lifelong Warriors fan. And when he kind of laid out how they had been thinking about it, what I heard was like, oh, they've really been working. They found a narrative attack, on how to approach this guy's life. Because a doc on a player that's as prolific as Steph, it could be kind of sprawling. You know what I'm saying? Like it's challenging to think about like, how do we tell this in a feature length doc that can grab people's attention and they can track and they can relate. And then I thought, man, Pete would be great for this, even though this isn't what he's known for. Like he hadn't done the quote unquote celebrity sports doc, but I knew it was something more to it that'll make it like a piece that he could relate to, and so I spoke with Pete, pitched him on it, and he was kind of like, man, let me think about this, and he was like, y'all want to do it, and then we went back to EP and Unanimous and Steph, and kind of we don't want to like load the deck with Pete, because he's a part of the company. You know what I'm saying? We kind of had to pitch him as a filmmaker to them and see if there would be interest there. And thankfully they really were excited. And that was kind of how we came to it, man. But it's one of those projects that's kind of a dream come true. We worked well together. Steph really got along with Pete, and he was able to get incredible access. Tiffany was navigating, you know, the life of this guy who's not only doing so many things but actually succeeding at them. You know what I'm saying? Like succeeding at being in business with his wife and supporting her, succeeding at, you know, raising his kids, succeeding at taking the Warriors to a championship, succeeding at breaking a 3-point record, you know, succeeding at going to college at the same time. You know, so all of these things he was navigating, and we were able to get in. And with the shrewdness of Pete as a filmmaker, he knew, you know, when he, you know, what places he needed to be, you know what I mean, and when to give stuff a space. So it really was a dream come true.
Yeah. We also, just to tag on to that, I recognized immediately, anybody's seen any of my films know that like crazy shit happens, like the unexpected, and that's the magic of documentary. And I recognized immediately that there's a couple of really intriguing possibilities. One, you know, he was trying to fulfill this promise he made to his mother, you know, to fulfill, you know, get his college degree. He had tried to do it in the past unsuccessfully. He's you know, and Tiffany knows how busy this guy is. And that the uncertainty of that was very intriguing. On top of the fact that, you know, I think I might have said it in the first meeting, you know, this isn't just a film about Steph Curry. It's a film about family. It's a film about community. It's going to be a film about Davidson. But there was this other potential storyline that was hidden, which was he's still a working NBA basketball player in his prime. What are the Warriors going to do that particular season? So we knew we were going to track that season. There could have been 2 completely different films depending on the outcome of that season, and that was an exciting you know, possibility for me as a nonfiction storyteller.